felt like we were being stalked around the building.
Kind of toyed with
Big slams upstairs.
the shadows on the wall. There's some messed up stuff from the time we got here. Something pinched me right there. And I feel like something's trying to get in my head.
So oddities, I've always been an antique collector. I've always been into weirder stuff, but I never wanted to keep it in my house. What weird stuff I did have, now I kind of pushed it into here. So I'll kind of start over here and I'll just work my way around the room. So that cash register, I know it's a weird thing to have in here. So the story behind it, I've talked to 3 of the owners. They all have a similar story. Once it was brought into their house or property, they started seeing shadow figures, hearing weird noises, things were moving in their house. The last owner brought it home, and he started having more than that. He had a teenage daughter, and they started having like poltergeist activity to it. So he wanted it gone. The shadow figure, they all said was about yay high, so it's taller than me, so over 6'3". So they just wanted it gone. The reason it's stuck on 55, for some reason it likes that number. It's been fixed several times. The last owner said the last time he tried fixing it, one of the levers in there that pop it up actually flipped up and cut his finger off, and I was like, yeah, that's total bullshit. So I asked to look at his finger, and he's got like a good chunk of the end of his finger missing. And there's a little bit of blood on the one lever. So we've just kind of left it there. Activity-wise, I haven't had a whole bunch. The REM pod, about the only time I get activity out of it, and it's very sporadic. Intriguing that you asked about the exorcism kit. So the story behind that, I bought it from someone purely out of curiosity. I knew they were with the Catholic Church, but they weren't fully trained in exorcisms. They attempted an exorcism and it didn't work. So I wanted to see if there could be a haunting to it, something like that. So we've had it here. I personally have not felt anything or had any activity out of it. Although Rochelle Stratton, that was on Ghost Hunters, she came in here and almost puked in the room, like instantaneously went out. And then Tyler Evans, who's a psychic, he not necessarily like person psychic, he can hold objects and tell its history. He came in here and said, oh my God, that's a joke, that never worked, someone should have been using that, they weren't trained to use that. He stood right here and like started dry heaving so hard, like tears were coming out of his eyes, whatever. And his comment was, that shouldn't be here. If you want to see the devil, it'll show itself in that. Kind of odd. The collar itself, it's in the black case, and then there's a few little cufflinks in there, and then the picture of the prayer card. That was from Erling, Iowa. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that exorcism. It was in 1928. It was a nun that was possessed. They had to do an exorcism twice on her. The town was so freaked out after the second exorcism happened, they literally boarded the church up and they shut the church down. Then they eventually ended up tearing it down. So there is like no pieces of history whatsoever. They burnt everything. Even like what they were wearing, some reason the priest ended up hanging on to this. So next to it, that dagger has an extremely cool story. That was actually a dagger from Anton LaVey that started the Church of Satan. Came out of his property. So what it is, it's a satanic dagger. They claim to use it for bloodletting, and supposedly it was for fertility rituals. We took it to Atchison, to Steph's place at McIntyre. Wanted to see if we could get any activity out of it. I had just bought it. I'm like, this is going to be fun. We took it upstairs in the children's room, and we were just sitting there doing EVP sessions, whatever. And Jeremy, who's the nicest person, most polite guy you'll ever meet, he started answering the questions when we were asking that questions, which was really creepy. In front of it, that's actually one of Anton LaVey's satanic Bibles that he would use in Mass. And I started looking through it. I'm like, oh, this is what a load of shit this is. And he looked at me, he's like, I'm going to rip your fucking neck out for saying that, which I've never heard a cuss before. So this happened about over a 2-hour time span. Really odd for him. So we kind of shut everything down, took him downstairs. To this day, he has no recollection of what happened. He started having pain in his lower back, burning in his lower back. So we just kind of let that item sit there. And to this day, he won't touch it. Like spreading over to here is kind of our weirder crap, I guess you could say. That little armband that's white, that's a Gestapo armband they used in Germany. Next to it is some shell casings that was dug out of Berlin. Oddfellows were huge in town. It was huge in the Stephenson family, so that's a ceremonial Oddfellows helmet that's probably about 1920s. That doll in the back, the reason he's in there, his name's Mr. Pease Bottoms. We have the backstory to him. So the story behind it, it was actually built at a concentration camp. The general had it custom made for his daughter by one of the people that were enslaved, I guess is the best way to put it there. Somehow it did make its way to America. A lady in the late 40s had bought it for her boy for a birthday present. She did not make it home to give it to him for his birthday. She wrecked her car and died. He was still in the trunk. So around Christmas time, they went to clean out her car because it happened in November. They went to clean out her car. They found that. They gave it to the boy. The boy loved it, took it with him everywhere. The boy started talking German out of nowhere, and the boy was like 8 years old. One day they were watching something on like Nazis and things like that, and the boy just started like flat out talking German, like he had been talking in his whole life. Creeped the family out. One of the aunts tried taking it from him and getting rid of it. The aunt actually died and went back to him. Then he was with his grandparents and an uncle. One of the uncles tried to remove it. He fell off a ladder and croaked. And then he was with the grandparents. They actually had a tornado, part of the house collapsed and killed somebody there. So one person's owned it since then. He wanted this thing gone. He was having bad dreams of Nazis. And he said he woke up one night and saw a Nazi standing in his room, which creeped him out. And then things were moving in his funeral home, which had never happened before. He actually, when he brought this home to his funeral home, he went to go push on the brakes. For some reason, a water bottle flew up and went underneath the brakes. So it was in a car accident. So he wanted it gone. We've had it here since then. It kind of creeps me out. Christy actually owns a doll that's there. I think she has it with her now. For some reason it likes to focus on that doll. We can move this thing anywhere in this front room and his head will continuously turn and stare at it no matter where it's at. And for some reason it likes this doll over here. So when Tyler, the psychic, came in, he said that doll and that doll play together. He says the cute one over here brings people in and gets them to play, and then that one brings them in to kill them. He said there's something demonic attached to that. So since we've had him, we've had some really cool audio out of him, and they asked him if he liked his name Pease Bottoms. Then they asked him another question. Clear as day, you hear like a 5 or 6 year old voice that help him stuck in this box. Clear as can be. It's creepy. So this next case over here just kind of gets into my weird stuff, some town history. That lantern is a lantern they actually used in the tunnel systems here in town, so that's original. That $5 or $10 bill, I can't remember what I have in here. The $10 bill was actually printed at the bank before there was like U.S. Mint or anything. Your local banks printed it. So the bones and everything in there, they're original, just part of my weird collection. That ring that's on the hand whatsoever, it's a Masonic ring. We found that as well down in the basement. Anyways, here up top, that coffin is a child's display coffin. And I'm not meant like a sales piece. It was actually used at a funeral home for families that couldn't afford coffins. You know, and then after they had their nice funeral, whatever, they would put them in a cheaper box. So kind of sad, but it's here. Otherwise, there's a kind of vintage, older style embalming machine. That little rod with like the glass globe on it. I'm very intrigued by that. What it does is produce ultraviolet ray. It produces negative ozone. They used that back in the day for like pain and stuff. That it would shock you a little bit, and then they thought the ozone would help you heal. This thing here is probably like one of the weirder things that we have to be haunted. This piece came to us a couple years ago. There was a lady that got a hold of Jeremy and said, "Hey, I have this painting. It's haunted." The lady that painted this is pretty famous. She did like farm sceneries, outdoor painting. That's all she did. For some reason, she painted this and then she croaked. So the lady that we got this from bought it at an estate sale. She brought it home, started having headaches, bad dreams, things moving in her house. Creeped her out, so she put it like in a storage locker for decades. She got a little older. They went to clean her storage locker out. Same stuff started happening. So now we have her. I don't fear a lot, but this thing, like, I've had a lot of bad experiences with it. Creeps me out. I've had a lot of issues with it, so I just kind of leave it be. My pride of my collection. The top is an African death mask, probably around 1920s. It's really neat. It's like one solid piece of wood. The bottom is a death mask. It's been used. It's probably like 1870s, 1880s. The 2 small pieces, or the 3 small pieces, excuse me, they're Peruvian. They're pre-1900s. So the Congo tribes, they would put one of those wherever they were at, and every time they wished evil on someone or wanted to do a bad spell or whatever, they would drive a nail into it. That was their belief system. There's a little pouch on the back that has something in it. I haven't wanted to dig it out because it stinks really bad. and I don't want to know what I'm unleashing. But I like it. That's one of my prized possessions. You don't get a lot of activity. You'll get REM pod spikes and stuff out of this. But it's just an embalming table from the 30s. And then the actual theater seating, those are from the Oddfellows Masonic Lodge that was here in town. Otherwise, we can go in here and I'll go over the other few small things. Cyclops pig. He made it for like 3 days and then didn't make it. He's got one eye. That life vest is a life preservers off the Queen Mary.
Wow.
Otherwise, that black ball was like a, I don't know if you'd call it a yard decoration. It came from the Amityville house. We did find a bag of human ashes in this building. No one knows whose they are. And that glass thing. Up here is a letter from John Wayne Gacy to his attorney / art dealer. Here's some letters from, like, I'm calling letters, writing from Charles Manson. I've got all of this stuff in here. A lot of it I had at home, but like we open this as a paranormal spot. A lot of paranormal people are into the creepier stories, possible haunted objects. So I put it in here so the public can enjoy it. Stephenson Building was put up in 1900 by Sam Wymore. He was the creator of the town, obviously, so it's called Wymore. There's a picture of him and his wife up there on the wall. Sam Wymore actually came from Atchison, Kansas. Dirt poor family. Dirt poor. They had like 8 or 9 siblings. Lived in a quad house. Had no money whatsoever. Somehow he came into town. Somehow he got money. No one knows how. He started buying property, land, whatever, and formed the town. Everything that he owned here went to George Stephenson. George Stephenson was the attorney for the town. Attorney for most of the people. He's the vice president of the bank. He was on like council. He served as mayor for a little bit as well. He was a realtor. Anything that had to do with money, he had his hands in it. He ended up marrying a lady named Nellie Beer. She was out of Chicago. Married her. They started the railroad because Nellie's parents ran the Chicago Burlington Quincy Railroad. So they put a line through the town here. Once that happened, helped grow the town quite a bit because, refrigerated rail cars were coming in, cattle could come in, any goods could come in. So the town was actually pretty booming. But with that, it brought other things. They ended up nicknaming this town Sin City to the west. There was just about anything, gambling, brothels, bootlegging, anything and everything. No one knows how it started. The Al Capone, John Dillinger were the main ones that would come here in town and hide out. Our kind of theory is they knew the Beer family, which was Ben Stephenson's in-laws. That's how they came in. So what they would do, they would come in by just regular passenger car. There's tunnel systems that run all over town. They would kind of go through their little dugouts through the tunnel systems. John Dillinger actually still has one of those properties still up. There's like a little octagon-shaped brick garage up here. There's a tunnel that went from there all the way to that garage. And to this day, the floor still works. It's got a false floor. He would lift the floor up, the car up, and everything. He would lift it up, get in, drop it, get in his car, and then he was kind of out of here. Kind of neat. So the tunnel systems here in town were originally built for steam heat. There's a big picture of that hotel up there. That was the Toulouse Hotel. That would have been right next to the depot. Mainly was for steam heat for that. Once, like the mafia and those people started coming in, tunnel systems kind of spread out. They actually go 5 miles south of Wymore and about 3 miles north of Blue Springs. So they've got a pretty massive spans. Mainly they were used, so they were caught doing things. There was a private banking system downstairs, like in the tunnels for the mafia. It was guarded. There's been just about any social group you can think of. The Oddfellows were here for quite some time. The Masonics were here. The Masonics are still here. So yeah, just kind of a brief rundown of it. So this building itself, originally Stephenson used it as his law firm, banking, and that type of deal. The upstairs portion was originally all wide open. It was a cigar tobacco factory for the longest time. Then it turned into like a dance hall, pool hall. At that time, then this would have been a saloon down here, and that's when the brothel started upstairs as well. So just about anything and everything has been in and out of here. I'll let you guys go back here. If you guys want to do like an isolation chamber, when you are in there though, you'll feel something walking around you like the whole time, and there's this much concrete on the floor. Yeah, that's first floor. You guys have any questions?
No, very cool.
Okay, we'll go on outside, and I'll take you upstairs. We don't have a lot of activity in. It's probably one of the quieter spots, unless you're in the back, and you'll hear stuff here all the time. Usually footsteps, voice of a little kid, up here all the time, which we think is a little kid. psychic kind of thought the same thing. But you don't have a lot of activity. In here, there's a rocking chair. So a patient of mine used to sit in this all the time. She had terminal cancer. She finally passed away. Her husband got a hold of me after she passed away and said it kept moving, so he just wanted it gone. So I have it here. I've never seen it move, I can tell you that, but like you put a REM pod or millimeter or whatever, you'll get random spikes off of it. So that's about all that happens up here. Going around, so the hallway is where we get, the hallway in the very back room is where we get most of our activity at. So like all day, it's weird. This place you get a lot, I would say just as much activity during the day than you do at night. You'll hear footsteps up and down this all the time, like actual very firm footsteps. You'll hear male, female talking, like clear as day, which is really odd. This room in here, we get a lot of like kids' voices and things like that. This is kind of the hoard of dolls that people have left. So both of these rooms, you get a lot of children's activity. That room there, excuse me, would have been the kitchen. A lot of people that are claim to be sensitives or are sensitives don't like going in that room. They try to avoid it. I don't know if it's the arched doorway that kind of gives them the creeps or what. Just a weird thing. We found this in the building when we were cleaning it out, which is kind of odd because we have a little Raggedy Ann painting downstairs. Probably just a coincidence. So this room here was an experiment for me. That mirror came out of the house from the dead files. That mirror, they had claimed that it could suck your soul into it. The gentleman that owns the house, I'm really close friends with, he's had a lot of bad experiences there. Like, he just went off the deep end for a little bit because of it. He's great now, but put him in a bad place. So it's a group called the Spirit Mechanics that kind of go up and do the cleanup work for Amy. They told him to put this in a box, fill it with salt and like sage and some other different things, and like bind it shut. He did that, but we kind of talked him out of it, like give it to us, purchase it type deal. So we have it now. This room never was painted. It was kind of like the rest, but I'm like, screw it. I'm gonna paint it black. Put the mirrors in. Put this in here. Once we did that, like this room just had an oppressive, heavy feeling, and it never was that way before. In fact, Jeremy didn't even know I did it, and he walked in one day and he's like, "What the hell?" Like he just kind of creeped him out a little bit. So scrying wise, people have had odd experiences here. If you do it, put like a millimeter or a REM pod up front, you'll usually get spikes out of that. You'll get a lot of audio. Go back out that way and I'll take you in. So this back room up here is like our most active place. You do like group sessions, whatever. You'll get just about anything and everything up here. Voices, apparitions, you'll hear footsteps. We've had objects move up here. So just about anything. If you want to do like an EVP session, this is about the best room to do it because this is where we get most of our responses out of. Usually it's a male named Robert. I don't know which Robert it is because Sam Wymore had a brother. George Stephenson had boys named Robert, so it's hard to tell. There's also a gentleman that lived here that was Robert for the longest time, and he just like up and disappeared 20 years ago. No one knows where he's at. So that's the story behind this room. Like I said, this hallway is where you'll hear everything. Jeremy, myself, and Christy were doing just kind of a joke around investigation one day. We were sitting up here, and Jeremy kind of went, and we heard it back. We thought it was an echo, so we did it several more times, and it responded, and then all of a sudden it just quit. So at one point in time, tobacco factory, and then ended up to like dance hall and pool hall and things like that. So this back room here, reason it's set up the way it's set up is this would have been the original brothel up here. Like if you want to get brothel activity, this is kind of where you do it at. There's usually a female that you can hear from. You guys go downstairs. I'll tell you about the basement. So the downstairs you guys can explore later on your own. You'll see an old coal stove down there, like the big coal furnace. Mm-hmm. There's a shadow figure that likes to rush you. I had it happen once, and I was dead tired. I'd worked like 16 hours, so I just thought, yeah, just me being tired or whatever. And then it happened to my wife and daughter. They actually have a little bit of it on film, which is kind of neat. then we started having groups come in that were having the same thing, and I wasn't letting them know that part of the story, so it's kind of cool. He usually rushes you and he just disappears. I've never been scratched, harmed, or anything by it. Jeremy, the other owner, brought his managers in to come take a look-see, and Brad, who's a complete non-believer in the paranormal, is kind of being a smart-ass in here. He went home, he had scratches all over him, and like a mirror, heavy-ass mirror that's been on his wall for 20 years just shattered and fell. So the psychic that was in here, Tyler Evans, he went upstairs and pegged it right away. He's like, something's dark here, like something's demonic beyond demonic, and it likes to scratch, that way you remember where you've been.
There's spider webby in here, like.
Yeah, when there isn't any.
I've been getting that like for the last like ever since.
Have
we
you?
left.
I didn't know.
On my,
I saw you upstairs.
I can't like it's. I feel like it's like mostly on my arms and my legs, and then it was after we went upstairs. Like as soon as we
I
got
saw
out.
you in the front room there.
Yeah, I
You're
was like, what in the? God.
Yeah, so that stairway, you obviously seen how it's just, wood staircase over staircase.
Mm-hmm.
We always keep that door locked if we're here. You'll hear people walking up and down that the whole time, and we've got cameras there too, and we can watch. There's no one there, but you can hear footsteps and talking, so it's kind of neat. Yeah, so Stephenson, we never know at any point in time what we're going to get. When we first bought it, it was a lot of residual, and then there was one female we could interact with. But now that we've brought all of this stuff in here, the haunting's completely changed, and we never know what we're getting. So
really cool.
So yeah, that's it. Give you guys a key, right?
Yep.
Hello, we're coming downstairs.
Anybody down here?
I don't want to walk down there. I'm gonna turn on a piece of equipment, and you can use this to talk to us, okay? My name is Teresa, this is Alex, and that's Jill over there. Alex? Yes, that's Alex.
Hi.
Why do you like rushing people? Huh?
Or like cousins.
Because it's... What are the tunnels used for? For what? Games? I think he's done talking. Apparently he had 3 things to say, and one was hi to Alex. Well, at least we got a response down here, for starters.
I was definitely getting a lot of the cobweb feeling down here.
Were you?
On my arm and on my face.
Did you see something?
I thought I heard something, like whispering or something.
I didn't hear
I
anything.
heard that a couple times around here, but I thought like I might have been hearing something or something.
Well, thanks for talking a little bit in the beginning anyway. Hello? Anybody in the mirror room? Hello? What is your name? I heard a voice, but I don't know if it's outside.
What did you hear?
There's no voices outside.
I heard like a woman say something when I said, "What is your name?"
No, there's no audible voices that I can hear.
I can hear the weed whipper going.
I thought I heard a woman came from out there, and I thought I heard hello.
Hello, kitties. Is there any children in here?
Come touch the lights and play
Did
with
you
the ball.
did you say something?
I didn't say anything.
Sounded like I heard a man say something like 2 words, like, you know.
Oh, oh.
I didn't make it out. That's why I thought maybe you said something when you were moving, like, you know what I mean.
Nope.
Who's in this room with us? I thought I heard a giggle.
I mean, we could try.
Yeah, we're spider webbies again. Just for a second.
You want to do me a favor?
Hmm.
Just cut that.
You have a. It's like looks like a light scratch, but it's kind of shaped. It's shaped like a T.
Just wanted to make sure there wasn't anything else there, because I was in there and I just felt like a slight stinging on my back.
All right, kids. We're scooting.
Okay. Are you gonna use the S box or?
I'll try it with the S box. Can you say something?
Sure. Can you hear
Somebody
me?
say something.
I'm talking.
Oh, I
I'm
don't even
talking.
have. Huh?
I'm talking.
Oh, I don't even have a thing on. I can't hear you.
Is there anybody down here? Can you tell me your name?
Hi. Help me.
Can you tell me what year you were born in?
77. Who's? The lady.
Me? My name is Jill. Told you my name. Can you tell me yours?
Hey.
Hey, what?
It's kind of rude you're not telling
I
us
said
your name.
hey. I sell stuff.
What do you sell?
Products. How about you?
I work in surgery.
Work for the bank.
Nice.
Did you see that?
What?
I just saw like a...
Hey, Alex.
Hi. I just saw like a bright green light show up on that wall. Like a strip of green
Alex.
light, rectangular. Yes, hello.
Who's the lady?
That's Teresa.
How much?
Are you asking us to?
They are not for sale.
They're done.
Not as good, but you kept asking us how much when you kept saying with the lady. Then all of a sudden I started putting two and two together. I'm like,
it said, who's the lady? I kept asking.
like
who's the
twice,
lady?
and then
it
every
said,
time
how
you'd
much?
say how much, and then all of a sudden it dawned on me. I'm like, I wonder if they're asking us to like for sexual favors. And then Alex is like, they're not for sale. And then pretty much after that, you pretty much shut up.
Oh. It kind of sounded like they weren't even talking to us. It kind of sounded like sometimes they were talking to each other because I'd hear something but I couldn't understand it. And then it sounded like they'd say something to some, you know what I mean? Like you can just kind of tell it doesn't sound like they're talking to you.
Yeah.
But then sometimes it maybe was.
I mean, I think there was a little bit of interaction. Was
But
nothing.
when they said, who's the lady?
Mm-hmm.
That was, he's like, who's the lady? It was like very like, rrr, you know. And then when they said Alex,
Yes, apparently something here really likes me.
yeah.
Because they keep asking me.
But as soon as I put it on though, right, I heard hello,
Yeah.
like instantly.
Well, and then she was asking all the questions, and then you said, let him speak.
Yeah, let him talk. So then I was like, Alex, you got to ask
I
some
didn't think about
questions.
that. Were you
Yeah.
asking?
I wasn't saying anything, and then it said, let him talk.
Yeah. So there was some stuff, but it wasn't like super interactive like we got at that other place. But
I was like looking over here, and I saw, this is what I saw, Jill. It was like from here up to there, and it was just like this rectangle of like bright neon green, like lighter than this color green, but it was like a solid rectangle of light.
Zoomed across.
It like showed up here and then like went up and disappeared.
Oh, cool. Where do you want to do that? 11 up here? Who's there?
I saw something shoot behind the camera.
What?
Something was like just a throw ball of light behind the camera.
In the hall?
Yeah.
Who's in the hall? What in the hell was that sound?
I heard a voice.
it was a male voice. Was another male voice.
I did get a really weird sensation. I got goosebumps, all my hair stood up, and it kind of felt like something was touching my leg. I still have goosebumps all over, and it wasn't like...
Oh my god, you do have goosebumps.
yeah, like,
Holy moly.
And it's hot up here, so
Yeah.
you shouldn't. It's not from the cold.
but it wasn't like, you could tell something was touching, but it was like, I felt just like very, very slight movement on my leg.
Try the brothel room over there. Come on up, kid.
Can you tell me who used to own this building?
Did we interrupt you? What did you like to wear?
Can you talk a little louder in that? I can't understand you.
Huh?
The one guy was just
There's
talking, he was talking away,
There's
but
a
he was
lot of
just doing it
talking.
quieter.
There's
I
a
couldn't
lot of
understand
talking.
the word of it.
Yeah,
I couldn't understand
too
it,
quiet,
but with this, I don't know if that made a difference. I heard a lot of speaking going
That
on.
amplifies the noise big time.
Yeah, I mean there was a lot of. I don't know what any of it
yeah,
said.
I also heard a lot of talking, but too quiet to understand it.
We're gonna ask you some questions. Maybe we should put a spirit box there.
On the portal.
Oh, yeah, do that. How long have you been in that clown's body?
Did you hear that? It said, "Do you want out?"
Do you know how to turn the light off?
Everybody's really chatty today.
I'm not, but it's still pretty early out, Jill.
What?
Still pretty early.
I know. I'm just saying nobody's really chatty on the
No,
phone.
really not. Do you want to do the Estes thing?
Yeah, we can do that. Can you talk with us?
You're a crab ass. Is it raining?
No, it's actually kind of warm out. Do you like the rain?
Oh yeah. It's hot.
It is hot. Can you feel the temperature?
Oh yeah.
Who's touching that meter over there?
My kid.
Is your kid with you right now?
He's 12.
Can you tell me his
I'm
name?
scared.
Why are you scared? What are you afraid of?
That room.
Which room? The one with all the stuff in it?
You got it.
Are there bad things in there?
Don't go. It's bad. Listen.
We're listening. What do you want to tell us?
No, you're not.
I am listening. Tell me what I need to do.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. What do you want me to do?
You need to.
I need to what?
Listen.
I am listening.
Listen.
I'm listening. You need to tell me what you want to say. I know it's hard for you to communicate through that, but you need to slow down and listen.
Okay. You're okay.
Thanks. You're okay too. Where should we go to next?
Go in there.
In where? What room should we go to?
I told you. Ha ha. Ha. Don't laugh.
Sorry. I thought it was funny.
Don't laugh.
Okay, sorry.
You didn't think that was funny? Can you tell me a joke?
Stop talking.
Okay, sorry.
Alex.
Yes.
Why do you keep talking to Alex?
He's nice.
Thank you.
Is there something that you need to communicate to?
Stop talking.
Sorry, this is me.
Would you like to
I'm
speak?
sorry.
What are you sorry for?
Yelling.
It's okay.
Hello.
Hello, who am I talking with?
It's Jim.
Hi, Jim. Did you ever kill anybody?
Many. They drove through.
Who's standing over there? Setting that machine off.
Damn hillbillies. About 20 of them.
There's 20 hillbillies here?
Oh yeah. Son of a bitch. Are you laughing again?
No, we stopped, but it's still funny. We're not laughing at you.
Ha ha. Fat son of a bitch.
Well, you sure got a mouth on you. What are you pissed off about?
Father Henry.
What's up with Father Henry?
Father Henry. He's 40. Beat him. Downstairs.
In the basement?
You beat someone downstairs in the basement?
Yep.
Did you kill him?
He's dead. Poor bastard. We're ladies.
Is there a girl up here now?
Us. I mean her.
Which one?
You.
Me?
Yeah.
What about me?
We're good. Ladies. Anna.
Is that your name? Anna, I'm Jill. Nice to meet you.
Greetings.
And salutations to you.
Flowers.
You like flowers? What's your favorite?
Lilies.
I was just gonna say that.
Thanks for coming.
Well, thanks for having
Thanks
us.
for letting us go.
Holy shit. There are so many words going on in my head right now.
Teresa.
Oh my god, Jill, there's so much chattering. You've got to, like, this is insane. I mean, this is insane.
Teresa.
It sounds like there is, like, so many people trying to compete to speak right now because it's like, oh my god, I couldn't stop
So
I'm like,
Teresa,
why does he keep saying
Teresa,
that? What?
Teresa. So
Oh,
you were
God.
sitting there. Your K2 was
Oh
going
yeah,
off.
your cake.
Nuh-uh.
Your K2 was going off, and we
Not
asked.
all the
We asked.
time.
It went off multiple times. It went
Yeah.
off the first time.
Damn,
And
I
I said,
missed
who's
it.
standing there? And you said, my son.
My son.
Shut up.
And
Yeah.
then eventually it turned into the hillbilly thing.
You were literally answering our questions, literally having a conversation with us, and the K2 was going off.
It's hard because like I can't imitate his like a couple times he actually said ha ha ha, like he wasn't like, you know, when
Right.
somebody's laughing you're like, oh ha ha, funny,
Yeah.
you know, that's kind of like the ha ha ha. But then it's like, how do I imitate a laugh? Because one of them actually sounded like a laugh. It was like a 3-syllable laugh. It was so intense, the voice was trying to cut in, that like I could barely hear the actual sound of the sweep. It just sounded like voices. That's it. It's kind of weird.
Who's here?
Oh, hello.
Who's hanging out
Are we
with
talking
us?
about you? Wow.
That makes you see.
You alright?
Dude,
Oh, you hear it?
no. Turn that off for a minute. Wait, look in that, the frame, right? The glassy part.
Yeah.
See, you see how you can see through the curtain?
Yeah.
And there's like a shape that goes out like, yeah, there's a shape that goes out like this. I swear to God, I just saw something move from here to here. Like movement. I got goosebumps really bad.
I do too.
The shape wasn't light, it was
Okay.
dark.
Oh, and then also, I don't know if you were hearing it too, but throughout, not so much later in the conversation, but the beginning to middle, I was hearing a bunch of walking
Were you?
upstairs.
I just felt
I
like it was
heard one. I heard the one.
We heard the one big bang, but then
I wonder what kind of activity you guys will get from them sleeping.
Things out of place for one of us.
It won't
It's-
stop.
It feels completely different up here.
This is really long.
me too, I'm at weird times.
Not like that one, but I mean, it's kind of cool, but I'd almost feel better if it would just do something. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's toying. It's almost toying like that. The only time I got the willies in the mirror room is when it was right before Jill came back up with the batteries, and for some reason I felt really uncomfortable all of a sudden. And then when I had my back to the curtain, like I felt very like vulnerable. I think is the word I used. Like I felt like something was gonna come out of that thing.
Yeah, this place just like makes me feel on edge a little bit. You just have a little.
I just got goosebumps again. What was that?
That wasn't your stomach?
No. Did that sound like a growl?
Yeah.
It sounded like it came from right here. Literally.
Yeah, correct.
It seems like after she went to sleep, everything got weird.
Right.
There's literally nowhere to go where I don't have the willies right now. I don't even know what to, like, you just continue on, I guess, keep investigating, like, isn't that, I mean, that's kind of why we're here. We'll just have to keep our guard up.
And like I feel like my mind, I'm losing my mind, and like my eyes are just playing tricks on me because
Yeah.
I just see stuff everywhere. You know?
Yeah, what was that? Something moved back here.
I don't know what that was.
What did that even sound like? I don't even know what that noise was. I ain't going to sleep. I'm sorry. There's a 0% chance that I'm going to be able to be in that room. And what freaks me out more than anything is if I'm the last one awake, I feel like I'm going to have a straight up panic attack in that room. And I'm not even sure I can do it.
I'm kind of with you there, I think.
I can't do it.
I don't think I can put this over here. No, it's fine. I just don't feel good.
Can you leave here?
I think so.
Where are you going to go? I'm worried about. Not good at all. I don't know why I started bawling. I had to get that off my chest. I've been like eating at that shit for hours.
Yeah.
There was so much other shit going on that I was just, that was kind of like, after you hear a growling and like all this other shit, that becomes like the least of my worries at that point. It was a creepy growl too. It was like a few second rumble. I don't know. It was creepy. That was just, that thing on my head was my last straw. Like, it didn't feel like, I've had things touch me, like I know it's trying to get my attention. It wasn't that. It was like, it was trying to, like, do something to my head. It wasn't trying to push me. It was just like, it was trying to, like, grab it. You know what I mean?
Well, I think also the fact you and I commented to each other, it literally felt like we were being stalked around the building. And then to have that happen where something sneaks up behind you and grabs you.
I couldn't get it to go away. It was just like, no matter where we went, it felt like it was the same thing, and it was like right there, and it was everywhere. Everywhere.
They're happening like, what did you say, 20, 30 minutes after you fell asleep?
That was
probably?
a light switch. Seriously, like, we were fine. And then I thought back, and I'm like, you know what? There's some messed up stuff from the time we got here. Something pinched me right there. And, like, all the stuff on my legs, you know, and my arms, and all the cobwebby things. And then that thing I saw right, you know, when we were sitting down there, and I saw that shadow up top or whatever. I don't know, I thought I kept seeing things, like even in the basement, you know, you think you see something moving that like that's darker than the dark, you know, and you're just like, oh, I must have just been seeing things. But now you look back and you're like, man, I don't think I was seeing things. Like, I think there's stuff just moving around here.
Well, like, it made me doubt myself because, like, I rarely see anything. Like, I look for shadow figures, I look for orbs of light, whatever, but I never end up seeing them, and I saw them nonstop here. I kept seeing that green light showing up everywhere.
That green light was right here. And it was like this, it happened like right here, and it was like the size of a baseball. And it was just like, it just flashes, and then it doesn't like, you don't see it move. Well, I didn't see it move, you saw it move.
I saw the green light upstairs, and then when we were sitting on the couch over here, I looked in here, and in the reflection of the display case, so it would have been somewhere over here. Like she said, the size of a baseball, just lit up and then disappeared.
I just really didn't feel like I was safe. Like, I felt like if we stay in here, like something, it's just not, like, it's just messing with our head too much. Like, I need to get out of here. I need to get out of this house.
Like, we couldn't be in here.
No.
It was too much.
We tried to come back inside a couple times. It didn't bode well.
We heard a couple big slams upstairs. And then we went.
That was the other one. What were we doing? We were doing something, and like it came from like right on the stairwell right here, like going upstairs. Huge bang. Huge bang, and I was like, what the is going on over there? That was weird. We heard a bang when we went up to pack up.
Yeah.
When we went up there.
Literally the only
I'm
time,
like, yep,
only
still
time we
don't like
heard
it in
something
here.
when we were up there.
I just feel like it was just nonstop. I don't know. I just love that. I don't like it when I feel like something's trying to get in my head. Like, I can handle whatever, you know. I've been scratched before. I've been pushed. You know, I just deal. It just here, like that. I just felt really messed up in my head. That's what was bugging me. Like,
Well, and it wasn't doing anything to interact. either.
no, it wasn't.
It wasn't trying to interact with us. So the silence almost made it worse.
I'm like, I almost wish it would just do something. Other than, like, kind of toy with you a little bit. I felt like it was almost waiting for you to let your guard down. You know what I mean? And the very second I did let my guard down, I got freaking palmed on the head. So, yeah, no, I'm not. My guard went whoop, right back up. That was that. I'm not messing with that, but I don't know what went on here last night. I honestly don't even know where
If it's
any of these things
this-
that came from. I couldn't even tell you what it was. I have no idea. And then I started seeing the shadows on the wall over there. I'm like, am I seeing that? Am I, like, my head says I'm seeing that. You can't even describe what's going on in your head. Like, I probably sound like a babbling moron. Like, I'm trying to describe what was going on in my head, and it's almost impossible to do that, because it's like, you're like, I am seeing that. But am I? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, your eyes are seeing it, but, like, it's just like, you're like, there's no freaking way that there are shadows bouncing all over this damn place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's hard enough to see one. There's no way. I swear, I had to have seen 30, 40 shadows. That's not an exaggeration, because it was constant. I saw, like, 4 or 5 sitting right there for 2 minutes.
It was literally like whiplash. You'd look over here and then you'd see something over here.
And then sometimes I'd see one over here, but then I'd see one in the reflection of the case here. Like, I can't even tell you how bad that freaking screws up your head. Like, when you feel like it's
Did it look like people figures, or
No.
it's just?
No,
Literally
it was black
shadow.
little shadows that
Yeah,
just
they
darted
weren't
across
even
the
figures.
ground.
It was just like blobs of black, just like kind of whipping around. It wasn't even that. I swear to God, you stood that thing upright, it probably was this tall. It wasn't big at all. It was just everywhere. So like I literally thought I was nuts. I've never seen anything like that. It was crazy. This place is just not okay with me now. I'm just like, I don't even want to come back. I don't like it in here right now.